What's up everyone, and welcome back to HateWatchers. Today we're getting back on track with our retrospective comedy reviews of The Wheel of Time, picking up where we left off at episode 4, entitled The Dragon Reborn. Just before we start, please drop a like on the video as it helps us reach a wider audience. With that out of the way, let's break it down. Spoilers ahead, if you even care. We open up in Detroit on a sunny weekend afternoon where the king of Detroit and his guards are fleeing. He's being hunted by a 5'3" Spaniard trying to cosplay as the Crow, but calling himself the Dragon Reborn. He corners the king, then the ghosts of kings of Detroit past whisper some gangster shit in his ear before the Dragon Reborn asks the king to join him. We move over to Wisdom, who's at a summer camp for losers with behavioral problems. And it looks like Chipmunk Supreme is a camp counselor this year. Moraine is still wounded, but finally in the presence of strong women who are able to heal her in 4 seconds. But then she tells the help to bring her some water. Moraine wants to see this supposed Dragon Reborn, so they walk in to find the evil male in a cage, just like in their most empowered fantasies, as they talk jealously about how much stronger he is than them, an unacceptable thing in this world made for women. He mutters a microaggression underneath his breath, and Strong Woman 3 is ready to kill him for it. Moraine decides the only chance she has is to attack him while he's sleeping, and Chipmunk Supreme gets the hiccups. Outside, Landchops is training and broing out while they discuss Wisdom's badunkadunk before his friend settles for the Walmart version of Wisdom. Jumping over to the Gypsy Caravan, Egg checks on Perrin's PTSD, which we're happy to report is still out of control. One of the stoners invites them to move with the caravan as they search the countryside for good vibes and weed. Moving back to Moraine, they're still watching over the Dragon Reborn, where she and someone I assume is named Priya Patel are talking about how the dragon wouldn't be stronger than them if he didn't benefit from male privilege. Wisdom's eating fried chicken, and Chipmunk Supreme comes over and says,
I like your braid.
It's so ethnic. Does it have any meaning? A friendly farmer pulls a bow on Rand, Matt, and the singer, and then his wife and son show up looking to dip their toes in the bloodbath, but the farmer takes them in for the night instead. We rejoin the caravan of stoner circus freaks so these poor people can lecture us that weapons are bad, and they shouldn't exist, man. Rand and Matt are shoveling piles of shit, and Matt can't take the smell anymore. This little girl says she doesn't understand inflation, so Matt tries to explain modern monetary theory to her through examples and ends up swindling her out of some bread and her doll. The singer, who sings drinking songs off-key for pennies from bar patrons too drunk to hear, is now somehow able to tell that Matt is the Dragon Reborn. Moving back to Moraine, she's upping her diversity quota because black is worth more than Indian in Hollywood. Everyone's shooting the shit by the fire when the gay guy openly lies.
I like her.
Then the show heavily implies that they're going to have a threesome, because that's what's important in a medieval magical fantasy show. Landchops shows up and asks Moraine if she's ever tried the sneezing dragon position.
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Of course the stoners were going to have a dance circle, and they talk about how they once knew a magical song that brought harmony to the world, but they forgot it. Oh wow, stoners forgetting things. What great, thoughtful characters we're dealing with here. Chief Hippie in Charge tells Perrin about her extremist views that violence is wrong, even in response to violence against you. You know, self-defense. Rand keeps telling Matt to stop farting, but he's out cold. Due to the gas poisoning, Rand has a nightmare that everything's fucked up, but luckily he wakes up in the singer's arms who's been holding him for a while, which isn't weird at all. They run and find Matt, who's trying to look tough with a replica dagger, as they notice a Nazgul Voldemort Dementor has murdered the farm family. The singer bravely fights off the ghoul, while Rand and Matt run away, knocking down the little girl on their way out. We come back to the Women's Empowerment Summer Camp. Loser Camp, where Wisdom sees Landchop doing the strut of shame. Chipmunk Supreme confuses her colleague for the maid and asks her for some of that sassy black woman wisdom. Then the black woman named Wisdom interrupts Land's Buddhist prayer to make him watch her prayer, because I guess it's a contest. The camp comes under attack by white males, and the dragon bodies the chipmunk. The strong and brave and intelligent and clever women fight off the white males, who try and enforce their privilege on them. Moraine shows up like a boss bitch because she's here to talk. The maid and Chipmunk Supreme emerge from their hiding place of laying on the ground, and the dragon tells the maid her services are no longer needed. Outside, Priya says, "Thank you, come again," to the white males. Back with the dragon, this guy tries to give him a haircut, but the Dragon Reborn says Asmongold for life and rejects it. His barber shears splinter and gets sent flying, wounding everyone and killing Landchops. Wisdom, apparently now in love with this guy, goes Super Saiyan and heals everyone, and my god, look at this hair. The ladies all band together and use swirly whirly magic to remove the Dragon Reborn's male privilege. Wisdom is pissed, and the episode comes to an end. It was nice to get back to this show. I forgot how much it sucks. Normally, this is where we'd determine if this episode was a great watch or a hate watch, but we knew this whole show was a grade A certified hate watch before going back and reviewing it. We're keeping the reviews brief for these older shows, but we will say that until the last 10 minutes or so, this episode was mind-numbingly boring. The story jumped between 3 or 4 separate groups of people, and each switch to a new group was met with audible groans. We don't care about any of these people, and we can barely focus enough to remember what the story is supposed to be about. And for an episode that is almost all talking and informing the audience, that's an impressive feat to pull off. The limited combat there was pretty lame. The chicks pretty much just do magic and explode the ground beneath their enemies. They might as well be chucking grenades. It doesn't feel very magical. We probably have another episode to go before we get far enough into the story of who the real Dragon Reborn is to speak on how that storytelling was handled, so we'll address it at that time. Anyway, show sucks, but it's a fun hate watch. And on the positive side, we're halfway through the season, so the light at the end of the tunnel is growing brighter. Comment below, how many episodes into Wheel of Time did you get before you quit watching? If you stuck with the show up to this point, what activities did you do while watching the show to pass the time? Remember to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and click the subscribe button for future Wheel of Time reviews as well as reviews of other current shows and movies. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll catch you on the next one.